Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Saturday, August 7th. Important video today for everyone who cares about Eidl grants and loans, as well as two major pieces of legislation, the $1 trillion infrastructure bill and the $3.5 trillion anti-poverty and climate change bill. All of these are related and it's overall good news for you. I'll talk about two things in this quick video. Number one, if you've received an Eidl grant or loan or PPP loan, what else you can do to get more funding. And number two, if you're still waiting for an Eidl grant or loan, there's positive news to share with you as well. By the way, we would love to surpass 2,000 likes on this video again. Huge thank you to everyone who gave us a thumbs up on our last couple of videos. This is one of the latest ones, 2,500 likes. Let's try to beat it today. If you find this helpful at all, it really helps not only myself, but our entire team. So if you've never left a like before on this channel, consider doing it today. I promise it'll be worthwhile. And if you're new, hit subscribe and turn on the alerts, because we're picking an $1,000 winner tomorrow for all subscribers of our channel who've commented on a video this past week. Details on that in the description. Okay, first for folks waiting on Eidl loans and grants, I'm going to talk about the loans first, then the grants. Here's the poll we put up a day ago, 3,500 votes. Again, this is the 30% number. Nearly 30% of people, according to our poll, which is a self-selecting group, of course, people watching this channel, 30% have been approved for an Eidl loan or Eidl loan modification. Nearly 30% are still awaiting a decision, and 40-45% have been denied and or are trying reconsideration. The approvals increase has gone up substantially since the previous week. Of course, the bad news here is to see how high that denial number is. At least half the folks tuning in right now, you know it's quite likely that the denial group is overrepresented on our channel. You know, if you've received a loan, you may be back to work trying to hire people and less involved in videos like this that explain what's happening. I do hope once you receive your loan or grant, you stay tuned in, because like at the end of this video, I will give more tips on how to get more funding and support for your business. A couple dates to keep in mind. Today's August 7th. The SBA has said by the middle of August, they will review the entire backlog. So I'd give them a week extra leeway, but basically we're talking about in the next 1 to 2 weeks, there should be a decision for you if you're still waiting. And then of course, if you are denied, the key is to get back in the reconsideration queue, use a template, email them, get in touch with the loan officer, use the template we put on our app. Many of you have said it's helped you tremendously. So the good news at the end is in sight for everyone in the backlog. And of course, the SBA is still accepting new Eidl loan applications. If you know someone, small business owner, independent contractor, self-employed, who's had their revenue impacted over the last year and a half, encourage them to apply as well, because the SBA's goal is to help as many small business owners, entrepreneurs as possible. Okay, now the good news for the Eidl grants. I reported the beginning of last week that in the infrastructure bill, nearly $20 billion allocated for targeted Eidl grants, which would equate to helping over 3 million business owners across the country. So all that money, according to the draft of the infrastructure bill, has not been fully passed yet, would be permanently rescinded from the SBA's pot of money. Okay, so many of you are very upset about that. This morning, lawmakers in the Senate did a procedural vote to pass the infrastructure bill, but there are still hurdles in the way. So for the time being, that pot of money is still safe, and this may take some time. Let me explain. The roughly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill cleared another procedural hurdle today in the Senate, bringing the agreement one step closer to final passage in a rare weekend session. I love when they say rare weekend session. It seems like they use this all the time when there's important legislation. It's not that rare, come on. And this is a lot of taxpayer money we're talking about. So the deal is on track to easily pass in the Senate, according to the Wall Street Journal. However, the bill will face a more complicated path in the House, where Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said she wouldn't bring this bill up until the Senate also passes a $3.5 trillion anti-poverty and climate bill. This bill has not been talked about a lot. It was proposed relatively recently. So what's the likelihood of this bill getting passed in the Senate as well? Here's what's in it, by the way. It includes climate provisions, childcare, and other programs. If the Democrats remain united, they can pass this in the Senate with a 50-50 vote. So Democrats may try to get that through quickly, then both will go to the House to be voted on. So there are some more complications there. However, many of you remember what happened last summer with the HEROES Act. For those of you who don't, this demonstrates how long bills can take to pass, especially when the margins are tight. However, the power has switched to Democrats in the Senate, which makes the path for a lot of these proposals much easier. This was a $3 trillion stimulus package that was supposed to be a welcome addition to the CARES Act, the $2 trillion CARES Act that passed in March. It passed in the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives last May, so there was discussion about it in June, July, August, September, and also variations of the bill in the lead up to the election. Then nothing was done prior to the election or right after the election. Finally, on December 21st last year, Congress reached a deal. This was the $900 billion package that eventually was signed into law on December 27th that had the original targeted EIDL grants in it. To come full circle, just to show you that we waited 7 months for an additional relief package last year. The timelines likely won't take that long this time. For now, the infrastructure bill hasn't been passed. Whether it gets passed next week or in September remains to be seen. So there's still some small hope for that targeted EIDL grant money. It's not likely that the rules will be changed for those grants, but it's not completely dead just yet. Okay, for the millions of you who've received EIDL grants, loans, or PPP loans, are thinking about more funding, first, it's incredible to see the breadth of how many people have received direct payments or loans over the past 18 months. There have been over 5.8 million targeted EIDL grants given out. Here's the most recent number, and there have been over 3.8 million EIDL loans given out. Here's the latest number there. And finally, over 12.4 million PPP loans have been distributed. And for those tens of millions of businesses, all of that information is publicly available. You can look this up on our website and our app, of course. But more importantly, looking it up, you can import all that publicly available data into your funding tracker. It's free on our app, HelloSkip, in the App Store and Google Play. I mentioned this for the first time earlier this week. It's brand new. Click See New Funding Tracker here. You can integrate with your publicly available data, whether it's PPP, RRF, or EIDL, set a funding goal, and most importantly, see the latest information. Even videos I don't post here, I post on the app first, and we have more funding opportunities for you at the bottom of the app right here. So if you're thinking beyond EIDL, beyond PPP, what's next? There's lots more funding options out there to help you stabilize and grow your business. We're here to help, so consider taking an early look. Now, because of the demand, we don't want everyone going and downloading the app today, because like I just showed you, there's over 20 million records of funding across the EIDL and PPP programs. To help smooth out some of the demands so we don't have such a big spike like we've had over the past couple days, we're asking people watching this video, if you're in Central or Eastern time zones today, feel free to check out the app and start the funding tracker. And tomorrow, Sunday, if you're in the Pacific or Mountain time zones, obviously we can't enforce this, but this is what we're hoping happens. If you try it out, would love to hear what you think in the comments. And if you have any issues or delays, you know, a forced close and reopen can often solve any temporary issues, especially as it relates to the demand. Huge shout out to everyone who's already set it up. We've got lots more coming there in the coming weeks. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so we can get over 2,000 likes for this video. It really helps us. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.